is Friday Night Live with Warikoo. We're back every Friday night. Hello, Instagram. I hope all of you are doing well. And this is Friday night again. It's 10 p.m. We're back on schedule. For the last 2 weeks, we've been running our own version of the Indian Idol show. And I can't wait to see what all is possible tonight. This is an hour where we have freewheeling conversations. There's no agenda. There's no specific question to ask. Anything is permissible. Anything on your mind is allowed. There's nothing like stupid question. You ask, I try and attempt to answer. We have fun along the way. If you are a creator, if you're an artist and you would love to show your art, great. Please request and I will bring you in. If you could just type out why we should bring you in, that'll make it easier for me to select. But don't worry about it. No pressure at all. Okay. Typically, I bring people online with me, and every now and then, there are people who request, and when I add them, they drop out. So if you're placing a request, it'd be awesome if you think that it's really going to happen. That's the magic of things happening, but I'd love you to absolutely come in and have a chat with me. All right, as per a request that I made, I want to bring one of my favorite followers online. Her name's Tanvi. It was her birthday on the 27th of July, and she has something for all of us to hear. The voice is low. Okay. I'll speak up. But we'll get it. Hi, Tanvi.
Hi, Ankur. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are
Belated
things? How
birthday
is life?
wishes.
Thank you so much. Thanks for making it special. I know my team was very generous to reach out to you, but I just was looking out for avenues to thank you. I know I dropped you an email too with a lot of excitement, but then I thought that the live would be the best place to thank you in front of everybody. And I was just remembering and recounting and sharing with my family that how I ended up following you as the CEO who talks about doing epic shit. And, it was in July, I think it was in 2010, when people spoke about you. And I was very intrigued as to who is Ankur Warikoo? What does he do? And ever since then, I started following you. And for all the people wishing me thank you so much. And I would just like to share that I'm not connected with Ankur any which ways. I don't have his number. I have not worked with him. It's just ardent followship that I have been following him for a decade and more. And it started with Warikoo Wednesdays. Then I hopped on to Warikoo. Then there was an attempt to YouTube. Then we had Wanderings. Then there was a WhatsApp introduced. And now I think he's already writing an ebook. And for all of you to know, I've already dreamt about Ankur and his first book, which he's published. So that's the kind of networking that I have for him and the way I follow him. But would just like to talk about a bit more. And I know that there are a lot of Indian idols waiting, and I've been loving the lives that we've had.
Me too.
I would just like to share this message because I've seen this in a lot of people. Networking is not flattery. Networking is not following somebody without an intention. I think if both the people can add value to each other, I think that's what I've gained knowing Ankur. I really respect him for being real and original. I love him for the fact that he just uses the F word and doesn't care about it. So I think it's about loving the originality your mentor brings to your life. And Ankur, thanks again for being a superhuman. I have spoken to a lot of people in Warikoo, and I know how you inspire your team as well. And for not having those horns about being a celebrity and being available and approachable for not only me being your ardent follower, but lots of people who follow you. I think millions maybe. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. This is really kind of you. Honestly, if I knew that this is all that you're going to say, I would not have brought you in. I do not deal very well with compliments at all. Like I do not.
I know.
I get awkward. I get red-eared. I get embarrassed. But thank you. You're very generous in your praise. Thank you so much, Tanvi. I should tell everyone this while I did get to know of Tanvi when I went to Novartis, but she's been clearly following me for a lot longer. And this is a classic example of you engaging meaningfully with someone's content or with someone's public persona and then forming a connect. We've never spoken on email, we've never spoken on phone, we don't have each other's contacts. And it's remarkable how I still know of her. If she were to write to me, which she did, I would happily respond. That's the power of a connect. And if there's any message beyond all the really nice things that she said about me, if there's anything that you could take away, it will be that if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Connect with people who you would love to learn from, because they're always surprisingly willing to help.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for getting me live.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All the best, Tanvi. Bye-bye. Awesome. This was fun. This was not made up. I'm really, I don't deal well with these things. But okay, I did. Alicia dropped me a very quick DM saying, hey, are these conversations freewheeling? Because I had something on my mind that I wanted to ask. And I said, sure, Alicia, we'll bring you in. So Alicia, you are here. I see you. And let's try and bring you in. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Ankur. I'm sorry if I messed something up in between. I've never done this before, so.
That's perfectly fine. We all start from somewhere. Tell us where you're from.
Sure. I'm from Delhi. I have been working out of Mumbai now for over a year, but I'm back with my family for the last 2 months. I do think I'll be going back soon though, because things seem to be getting better in Mumbai. But first things first, I have to say that it's amazing how technology now lets you have advice when you need it. It's almost like serendipity, even I would say, because I was going through one of those days and I saw that you were doing a live today. So thanks for taking me on, really.
No, absolutely. I'm glad. Just another example of if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What do you do?
All right. So I'm a journalist with a business channel. That's about as much I'd like to give away, but this is definitely not about that. And this is not an attempt to interview you. So yeah.
Everything is. Trust me, no one would want to interview me. Trust me, they would be scandalous.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
okay, all right.
I bet.
and you've been a journalist all through.
I have, in fact, so just a little over 3 years now. Yeah, so
Nice.
I've had about 4 stints in these 3 years, and this one's been my longest. Hasn't been very long, over a year, but still the longest that I have had.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm afraid I've already given away a bit more than I intended to, but.
The only thing left now is the name of the media house, but we're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there.
Do you have a question for me?
I do. Okay, so we got our appraisals today, and again, I'm not sure how much of this is prudent to really be talking about, but what the hell. So when that happens, and this, by the way, is just the first time I've actually been part of an appraisal cycle. So I was excited. I wanted to see, what it's like to really sort of have your work rewarded and appraised and, assessed at the end of a year. But of course, things really didn't turn out to be such. So at this time, of course, we're supposed to be glad we have a job, which of course I am. But it's about, just the whole feeling of being let down by circumstances which clearly aren't in your control. And I think, I have, and again, this is not about the organization where I work, but what I have also been gathering from, the friends that I speak to, that has it become, a lot more easier now for organizations to just sort of explain away not giving people what they would rightfully deserve because there is a pandemic in play. And that kind of sort of adds to this, already prevailing lack of transparency. Of course, across industries is always, when you want to have certain conversations about money, with your bosses or with your colleagues, there's always this sort of apprehension. You don't really want to give too much away. You don't want others to know how much you're making. So as a result, the newer people in the system are always held back. They don't know how much, they can really go ahead and talk about. But I think that really encourages a very, very non-transparent system that never lets the new people know, how much they're worth vis-a-vis others, how much they should be getting, not just in monetary terms, but they also deserve to know, what parameters, for example, they're evaluated on. And a lot of times these exercises just seem to be farcical in the sense that, at the end of it all, you realize that you wouldn't have gotten this despite anything, right? So I was kind of struggling with, just finding motivation through this time, So how do you see this, Yeah. So also the sense of, sometimes there are people in the system who might want to throw you under the bus because there are decisions that they cannot really explain or don't want to take accountability for. And though that's unfair, it's somehow also regarded as not right, to sort of crib about things being unfair. Why are you just expected to accept things as unfair? And why is it that if unfair things are happening to other people also, that makes them somewhat less unfair, right? That takes nothing away from the fact that they're also happening to you, and you are entitled to a justification. So what is a sort of non-offensive or, not like a very out there way of broaching this discussion, with the people who make these decisions?
So, I hear you, Alicia. I hear you, and the world's hearing you right now. I almost sound like
I'm not sure if that's a great idea.
Yeah, but look, first things first, and I don't want to be prescriptive here, so sorry if it comes across like that. It's your first day, emotions are high, you're feeling what you're feeling. I'm glad that you're expressing it, freely, but a week down the line, you most likely will be feeling much differently about this than you are right now. Having said that, I'm not suggesting that what you're feeling right now is not the right way to feel. Here is my take on it, and I split it into 3 parts. Number one is, it is very important for you to recognize, and I don't speak to you just as Alicia, but I'm speaking to you all who are in the same boat. It's very important to recognize what the true cultural tenet of the organization is. What I mean by that is, whatever is it that you experience on a daily basis from your manager, from your colleagues, the question to ask is that the same behavior that is endorsed or almost appreciated by even the topmost leader? Because if that is the case, whether it's lack of transparency, whether it is asking the young people to shut the fuck up, whether it is not creating a culture of free communication or even free feedback flowing in, and that's not just what you're experiencing at your level, but goes all the way to the top, then you're just facing something that is systematically there. It's not an aberration. What you're feeling is not something which is team specific or function specific. It's just systematic. It's the way that the entire organization has perhaps been built for several years, if not more. So, truth be told, you can't fight that. As simple as that. You just can't. The only choice you have is either you persist with it because it gives you something that you need at that point of time, or you say, fuck it, I'm moving to someplace else which does have that kind of a culture that I want to exit. But if you do see that what you're facing is only limited to you, whether it's your team, it's your manager, your colleagues, and so on, but what the leadership stands for or even exhibits in their behavior is very different from it, then it becomes your moral obligation to raise it. It becomes your moral obligation to quote unquote blow the whistle and to make the leadership apprise of the fact that there is something that's happening which is contrary to what they would stand for. So that's number one. Number two, around what is it that organizations tend to do when it comes to transparency. This again is honestly, in my opinion, it's the company's wish to be transparent or to not be transparent. There are companies that benefit immensely from not being transparent. Unfortunately, there are a lot of companies that fall into that radar. We're not going to name them. But the truth is that there is benefit for them, economic benefit for them, to be not transparent. So as much as people would want that, you would want that, your peers would want that, your colleagues would want that, it is not economically even suited for the company, their industry to be transparent. It just doesn't work. So they have no choice but to not be. And that is only a recognition that you will come to once you spend several years in trying to figure out how is it that it works economically or not. But if you see that consistently, and it's not just your media house, it could be anywhere else, you'll just realize that that's perhaps true for most of media. They do not thrive on transparency. And I'm not making a blanket statement, but I'm being cautious when I make that statement. So that's number two. Is it systematically the need or the way that the industry is set up or not? Finally, is specifically around appraisals. We attach a lot of self-worth around the appraisals. It's not so much about how much we need. It's a large part about how much we thought we want or how much we expected. So I have a guiding principle here, which is it's great to have a desire, which is how much you would want out of the appraisal, but it's also very important for you to ask yourself, how much do I need? And need is how much is it needed for me to cover my base, not my desire, but cover my base. Because here's the reality of life. If you just stick with one expectation and you don't get that, you will feel miserable. That's just the way the world is structured. That's how you're biologically hardwired. But if you were to give yourself a range, which is, here is how much I need, here is how much I want, and anywhere in between is where my expectations lie, you will be a lot more at peace with what the world gives to you. And I'm not even remotely suggesting that you settle for something lesser than what you want. But what I'm saying is there is very little basis for anything that we want as humans. There is no basis. So if you were to do a market study of everyone in the entire media industry or in your industry specifically, who's at your level, your age, your experience, and how much they get, it is possible you may realize that what you get right now is pretty much the average. So it's not just what you're going through, and it's not about you, it's about what everyone is going through and the industry average. But because you have one or two data points of your friends or anyone from your batch in college and so on, who are earning a lot more than you suddenly say, that's what I want. And they could have gotten lucky. They could just be at the right time at the right place. It could be anything.
Sure.
But once we peg ourselves to that, it's almost like me pegging my worth to Mukesh Ambani and Jeff Bezos and saying, that's what I want. And if I get any lesser, I just feel disillusioned about the world.
But how do we manage our own expectations also then? Because like you said, of course, there's always going to be these 2-3 people we know who get more or less than us. But how do you manage your own expectations in terms of what you think you deserve? And I don't think it's always a very tangible figure or something that you could calculate, in terms of what you need. So what do you do in situations where you think that you've not, been done right in those terms, where you feel like you had worked towards getting something, but it didn't come through?
You would, my suggestion is you would come back with research and not emotions. So the next time you sit with your manager, because you're a journalist, so you're trained in that, you would do an industry-wide assessment of what is it that people get and where are you in the percentile of that. Because it's very easy for you to pick up 2 or 3 examples of cases that justify what your desire or your expectation is. That's not how the world works. You could be one of them, and I'm not suggesting you shouldn't be. But if you really want to know the answer, then you would do the research. So there are, and that's what well-meaning companies do. They do year-wise compensation assessments and benchmarking, and then ask
Mhm.
themselves the question, in which percentile do we want to lie? And the best paying companies, the Googles and the Amexes and the Citibanks of the world, are like the 80th percentile or so. And most companies are like the 50 or the 60 percentile. And companies who couldn't care less are like 25, 30, 40 percentile. But it's important because right now you have no basis. All that you have is I worked hard. I know 3 people who get more than me, and thus I have a case. If you were to go to the court with this, they would throw you out in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, right. But like I said, this was more about, and I'm sure there's a case, to sort of explain that as well. And I may as well be, in that percentile where I shouldn't really be complaining about things. But like I said, it's about managing one's own expectations. So while I can, have all the research in the world also, which can say that, yeah, Alicia, you're pretty much there. You're getting what the others are getting, and they're doing about as much good work as you are. And this is not just related to the profession. So if I have aspirations towards, let's say, getting a degree or getting another job or doing, anything of my own, I would have certain expectations that, I absolutely have to nail it because, nothing less than that would do. And sometimes it just doesn't work like that because there are things involved which we don't directly control. So in those situations, I find myself, how do I say this? Just trying to find, I don't like to blame circumstances on circumstances for things not going right. I feel like I have to take 100% accountability for everything that's happening. And when I can't explain that, I have a really, really dark time. Like I go into a whole spiral and I feel like there is something I haven't uncovered about myself or something that I can't see. And then everyone's telling me, that it's really not you and you need to understand that you did your best and, it didn't work out despite that. So, yeah, I really struggle with that.
Alicia, no, I totally appreciate that. I absolutely respect it. I have a feeling, I understand what you're trying to say. Here is what helps me if I'm in that spot and if I recognize truly what you're referring to yourself. I always ask myself this question, what is this telling me? That helps me a lot. I go deep into that question. What is this trying to tell me? One could be, why is this happening? Which is what most of us end up being. 2 is, how can I change it? Which is what some of us try to do. But very few of us stop and ask, what is this telling me? And everything is trying to tell you something. It could be something about you. It could be something about the world. It could be something about something that you didn't know. But personally, I find that this investigation of what is it telling me to be really helpful in circumstances where I feel lost or I feel that I can't manage my emotions and what is the difference between what I expected and what reality is.
That helps, but if you could give me a specific example, how do you sort of approach that question also?
I'm having a conversation with my boss, and my boss is super livid and angry at the fact that I have done my job not right. And I am pissed off because I worked the entire night to pull this off. I haven't slept for the last 30 hours. And my boss is just so livid that 2, in my opinion, really stupid mistakes crept in for which I'm being held accountable. And it completely ignores the fact that I have been working at this for the last 30 hours with no break. What is this telling me? To me, it's telling me that this work is something that requires 100% compliance. It's telling me that my boss is also perhaps under the same pressure that I am feeling, and he is unable to manage that at his end and thus is passing on to me. It's telling me that it doesn't matter how long I've worked at something. What matters is the end result, because the end result will not have a stamp that Ankur Warikoo worked on this for 30 hours and didn't sleep a wink. It's telling
Yeah.
me that the boss is completely not interested in hearing my sob story of how hard I worked. He's only focused on whether the work is done in the way that it should have been done. To me, that just gives me a direction of what I need to fix. Now, it could be at my choice I don't want to do that, but at least it tells me what I need to do, as against feeling stuck that no one's listening to me or no one around me understands me.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think I can make this a habit. Again, a lot of times I think these answers are also hard to accept, when you get them. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I get it. All right. I got to go to the new caller, but
Thanks so
all
much.
the best, Alicia. Trust me, this appraisal is not going to define you and your life, and you know that already. But
I
let me
hope
do the
not.
one. Absolutely not. Trust me. You are way too young and way too early in the game to have any such event define and take over your entire life. It's not going to happen. Take it from someone who's 39. That's the only thing I can say. All
Thanks
right.
so much.
All the best, Alicia. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, that went into a deep conversation. And yeah. All right. On Kevin, the master musician's recommendation, I am going to invite Godashri. Godashri, I hope I got your name right. Godashri. Let's go live with you, Godashri. And it seems like you're a terrific singer, so we're definitely going to have you sing for us. And hi. Very well. How are you?
I'm really good now that you took me on. So yeah.
Wonderful. Are you also from Chennai?
I'm sorry?
Are you also from Chennai?
No, I'm from Bangalore.
Oh.
I know Kevin through Instagram and all of that.
Ah, awesome. Very cool. What do you do? Did I get your name right, Godashri?
It's Godashri.
Godashri. Sorry about that, Godashri. But
Yes.
what do you do, Godashri?
Okay, so I've just finished my first year in journalism and media. So
Whoa, back-to-back journalists. I am totally
yeah.
in the media group. All right. And did you always wanted to be a journalist?
Actually no, but I always so basically what happened was from a very young age, my parents were, a lot of my relatives were like, bro, you should become a journalist all the time. I mean, they always thought I could do something in the media field, where I was always like, should I or should I not? So, but then after, a lot of people were telling me, and then, so in the 12th grade, I actually wanted to do, design and interior design and all of that. So I was more inclined towards that. But then, I kind of changed my mind because I had a lot of things going in my head because I wasn't sure if I want to do the same thing 10 years later.
Exactly.
So, and I also felt that I could always do this, and yeah, so basically that it's always been in me. So I don't know how else to explain it. So yeah.
No, I totally get it. But if there's anything that you would want to take away from this live, it's Alicia Sachdev, who is a journalist. We just spoke to her for about 10 minutes.
I
She's
heard
4
her.
years into the job, and she's saying, Godashri, switch. Leave this right away.
So
No.
the thing is,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're not going there. We're not going there. You don't have to justify. You seem very very at peace with that. But are you also a singer or a musician?
yes, I sing. So I've been training in Carnatic since I was 4. So yeah.
4?
4, yeah, 4.
You can sing when you're 4?
Yeah, I mean basic stuff. A lot of kids learn at that age, especially
Wow.
if you go to Chennai and like the South. I know a lot of kids who sing. You start singing from that age.
Did
So
you
yeah.
grow up in Chennai?
No, I was born and brought up in Bangalore.
Okay, all right. No, you just mentioned Chennai, so
No,
and
I
Kevin
am
just
from
seems
Chennai.
to-
I'm a Tamilian.
Got it.
So I have a lot of my relatives there, but I was born and brought up in Bangalore. So,
Got it. All right. No, great. All right, perfect. Would you be kind enough to sing for us?
sure. I mean, obviously, I definitely would love to do that.
Wonderful. Your song,
Okay.
your pick. We are your audience. We're ready to be blown away.
But just one question. Would you like listen? Okay, so I sing in a few languages as well. So would you like to listen to like Hindi stuff first or like a jazzy kind of Tamil song first?
You are the artist. We are absolutely mesmerized. Your call.
So okay, so I'm gonna sing this Tamil song. It's an ARR composition sung by Sid Sriram. I'm sure a lot of people would know him by now. So yeah, let me see if I do justice to this. It's called Adiye. Manasa Toradayani Yagaradavandayo Adiye Adiye Yanayangani Kutipora Adiye Adiye Yanayangani Kutipora Palangori Padapuriyala Unnanambi Varene இந்த காட்டுப்பையா ஒரு ஆட்டுக்குட்டி போலாவோ பின்னா சித்திரனை அடியாய் அடியாய் என்னை எங்கானி கூட்டி போறா அடியாய் அடியாய் என்னை எங்கானி கூட்டி போறா மீன தூக்கி ரக்கா வரஞ்சா வானம் மேலே நீ வீசி எறிஞ்ச பறக்கா பழகுறியாய் எங்கிருந்து வந்தாயோ அடியாய் அடியாய் என்னை எங்கானி கூட்டி போறா Yeah, thank you.
That was a really hard song to sing. You literally picked up the hardest possible thing that you could. Like, I have a little bit of understanding of music, and from that perspective, this was really hard to pull off. Fantastic! This is really.
Thank you so much. I hope I did justice to the song.
No, you help. Look, we're no one to comment. You know yourself. You know exactly where you slipped. You know exactly where you went right. So this was brilliant. This is really, really brilliant. I can't wait to hear something Hindi from you as well.
Sure. Okay, so should I sing like Lag Ja Gale? Should I sing Sundra Hai Na Tu? Should I sing Zara Zara? What do you want to hear?
Oh, let's play Zara Zara. That's been so long.
Zara Zara. Okay, sure.
Totally.
Could I just like quickly get the lyrics? Because like I don't want to mess up.
No, please, of course. You can also hum, like just do whatever.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I get like really paranoid if I don't get stuff right. So yeah.
Please take your time. We're all waiting.
Thank you so much for taking me on. I forgot to say that.
Totally. I don't want to mess with a perfectionist journalist.
And yeah, I want to. Okay, I'll tell that later.
Okay. Yay.
Zara zara no, that's too high. Zara zara महकता है आज तो मेरा तन बदन मैं प्यासी हूँ मुझे भर ले अपनी बाहों में है तेरी कसम मुझको सनम दूर कहीं ना जा ये दूरी कहती है पास मेरे आ जा रे यूं ही बरस बरस काली घटा बरसे हम यार भीग जाए इस चाहत की बारिश में मेरी खुली खुली लटों को सुलझाए तू अपनी उंगलियों से मैं तो हूँ इसी ख्वाहिश में सर्दी की रातों में हम सोए रहे इस चादर में, हम दोनों तन्हा हो, ना कोई भी रहे इस घर में, जरा जरा दहकता है आज तो मेरा तन बदन, मैं प्यासी हूँ मुझे भर ले अपनी बाहों में, है आजा रे आजा रे.
Really nice. I loved how high you went and how you held it. Very cool.
Thank you. I'm
Very
literally
cool.
shivering over it.
We can all see that, and yet we all love you. This is wonderful. Fantastic, Gaurav. This is really, really nice.
Thank you so much.
Please,
Okay.
I really hope in addition to your journalism, you continue pursuing this and
Sure, sure.
and don't give up on it. You
Sure.
surely have the knack for it, and I'm sure you'll be going places.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. Also, I have a few questions. So,
Few questions. One, please. One, I would love to take one question from you, Gurashri.
okay, yeah, sure. So basically, since I'm just like a starter in the field of journalism and media, so I'm pretty much not sure exactly as to what I want to do, and I thought I could get some advice on what direction I could take. So while I'm not really sure as to what I'm want to exactly do in the future, every semester, so we have different subjects. So every semester I'm like, first semester is like, okay, I want to do script writing. Second semester I'm like, okay, I want to do filmmaking. So I mean, it just keeps on changing every semester, and I really don't know what to do. So while I don't know what to do, I've been doing like photography since the 9th grade, and I've started writing a few scripts as well, like just started writing a few of them recently, and I write a few poems as well right now. So it's like I'm getting pulled in all directions and I don't know what to do. So yeah, that's that.
And no, and you want to solve for that? How old are you? 19, 20?
I'm 20 right now. I turned 20 this year.
Awesome, great. You are way too young to be deciding anything to do with your life right now. And I know that sounds like completely opposite to what your parents may be telling you or what the world has decided for you. But the best piece of advice that I can give you, or the best piece of advice that you can listen to and hopefully imbibe, is please, please, please do not put the pressure of time on yourself to select what is it that you want to do for the rest of your life. Your journey in the 20s is exactly what you just described, which is, I want to do filmmaking, I want to do script writing, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you do it, and you do it enough for you to recognize, Kodashri, whether that's something that makes you happy and whether that's something that you're good at. And if you find things that are the intersection of what you're good at and what makes you happy, you will find ways of unlocking that into a career. It's an eventuality.
What if that Sorry, continue. What if that keeps changing? Like, what if I like something I like keeps changing? What do I do then?
Think of why is that a problem?
Probably because you're used to. I mean, you've done that a lot by now, and you're like, okay, I know enough of this. I want to do something new.
That's perfectly fine. Why is that a problem?
I don't know. Because okay, maybe not. Because I don't know. Like, people keep talking about stability in life and all of that. Like, you should. I don't know. So, yeah.
You answered the question. You answered the question. And that wasn't about stability. It was about people. If we give importance to what people think and people go for and people strive for, because that's how it's worked for them in their life, you're going to be leading someone else's life and not yours.
Yeah.
The very fact that you have the ability to dabble in so many things means that you're blessed with something that most people don't have. And if people don't have what you have, their suggestion and their advice is going to always fall flat. And if you have a lot more than what people have, you will have a very different trajectory from what most people have. So please don't measure yourself against other people. Not even your parents, not even your siblings, not even your friends. Look at individuals who were able to do so many things in their 20s that you are set out to do. Whether it's singing, whether it's writing, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's anything else that you wish to. But look at their journeys and you'll realize time and again, they didn't box themselves. They didn't box themselves.
Right,
They were
right.
like, I can be anyone. I literally can be anyone I wish to be. I could be a singer today. I could be a director tomorrow. I could be an actor the day after. And I wouldn't know what is the best way to describe myself. And that to me is a gift. If the world always says, oh, Godashri is a journalist, then you have let yourself down by living just one life. But if
Right.
people end up saying, oh my God, Godashri is whosoever she wishes to be. Like literally, she was a writer last year. Today she's singing. God knows what she'll be doing next year. I think that is a joyous life that you would want to sign up for.
Yeah.
And trust me, you will find ways of living normally, financially, and all that comes along with it if you are just happy with what you're doing and you're good at what you're doing.
Thank you so much. That made so much sense. I mean, like, you just put things into perspective. Thank you.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Okay.
You're gifted. Please
Yeah?
continue with this. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
please continue
definitely.
doing this. Don't give up. But
I'd like
was
to
there something
send
else?
few of my like scripts and like stuff I've written if you'd like to read it.
Please DM it to me. DM it to me.
Sure,
I will
sure, sure.
definitely respond. Pakka.
Also, I
All
have
right.
another recommendation for you. So, there's a really good, really talented singer and mimicry artist called Yugal Bairagi. Was see people rooting for him. Please take him
Oh,
on. He's an amazing singer. Like amazing is
I
an
am going
understatement.
to do that right away.
Okay.
I love this network that all of you are building, which is like take him, and then wonderful. All right, Yugal
Thank
Bairagi,
you
I
so
see
much.
you. Awesome, wonderful. God bless. Stay safe. Take care.
Bye.
Yugal Bairagi, you come highly recommended, and we are going live with you. Despite the fact that you've been writing all your comments in all caps, which I have my comments on, but Yugal. Connected. I hope he's on a good network.
Am I audible?
Yes, Yugal, how are you? No.
Hi, is that like network issue or something? Shall I get connect again? Can I send you a request
हाँ,
again?
yes,
Okay,
please.
okay.
एक और बार. All right. In the meantime, there are 39 people who have asked for a video call, and there is absolutely no way that I can do justice to process. All right, we'll try Yugal once more because, of course, he comes highly recommended, and we'll see how that goes. Renegade, I have a question. Yugal, can you hear us?
Hi.
Awesome. I think this is a
Awesome.
better connection.
Yes.
Where are you from?
So, basically, I'm from Dehradun, Uttarakhand से हूँ मैं, and
One of my
and
favorite,
but
one of my favorite states.
wow, and currently I'm staying in Doha. I'm in Qatar, so
Oh,
I
acha.
work here. Yeah, I live
Okay.
here.
What do you do?
So, quite a kind of a similar kind of work. Not into journalism. I'm actually a corporate trainer. I'm into learning and development for organizational behavior and leadership management. So,
Say,
so मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा था कि जब आप सारी चीजें लिख रहे थे. So I could have, you know, I could have connect with whatever you were saying. So that's why I was just writing it on a big bold letters. I said, yes, I know, I agree.
Awesome,
So.
man. And do you all know each other? Like you hang out?
So we all became like an Instagram family. The reason was
Wonderful.
we connected like 2-3 months back, and I just started during this lockdown. I started doing my own singing on Insta Live, and actually thanks to one of my very first friends, his name is Ankit Indora. अभी आए नहीं है वो. तो उन्होंने मुझे बोला कि सर आप वो मेरे बहुत पुराने फ्रेंड है क्योंकि मैं पहले बैंगलोर में था. So I was working in Bangalore for many years, and then there I was doing a lot of gigs nights, and and I was also
Right.
teaching music. So besides
Right.
my work, I was teaching music too.
Nice.
So तब उन्होंने कहा कि आप इंस्टा में जाइए सर, एंड आज देखते देखते आई थिंक half of the people who are here, I know some of them. Yeah. So Goda अभी आपके
Wonderful.
साथ गई तो she was also there. So thank you so much Goda Shri for recommending, and thank you so much Anmol for being here. Yeah.
Wonderful,
और
man.
yeah, Shubham, yes, thank you so much. Yeah.
Did I read right कि आप मिमिक्री भी करते हैं?
जी जी
और
तो
I'm assuming कि म्यूजिक और मिमिक्री में आपकी ज्यादा म्यूजिक में दिलचस्पी है. Is it?
Singing is my first passion. Of course, music is first thing which came from like it's like inherent because my dad is an artist. उनका तो रंगों से ही उनका जुड़ाव है. तो पापा का सब्जेक्ट ही यही है, but he is an amazing flutist and a vocalist. तो शुरुआत पापा से हुई, but then later I was staying in Delhi, so there वहाँ पे काफी टाइम मैंने म्यूजिक सीखा, और अभी भी सीख रहे हैं क्योंकि it's समंदर, it's an ocean. जितना सीखो उतना कम है. तो मैं कभी नहीं बोलता कि आई एम ट्रेन्ड for so many years and all. मुझे बहुत शर्म आती है ऐसा कुछ बोलने के लिए, क्योंकि वो ठीक नहीं लगता.
That's awesome. So if you don't mind, हम आपसे म्यूजिक भी सुनना चाहेंगे और हम आपसे मिमिक्री भी देखना चाहेंगे.
Sure, sir. So where are you currently based at, Ankur ji?
दिल्ली, फरीदाबाद to be precise, क्योंकि कुछ
तब
लोगों
तो
को
फिर मेरे लिए आपके पास आप मेरे पास में आपके लिए परफेक्ट मिमिक्री होगी जो मैं आपको करके बताऊंगा. वो सरप्राइज
wonderful.
एलिमेंट है.
ठीक है.
ओके.
done.
तो मैं आपको एक सुनाना चाहूंगा गजल जो जगजीत सिंह साहब की है, कोई फरियाद.
वाह वाह वाह, I love that.
और इसका मेरा ही वर्जन है थोड़ा सा अलग, तो मैं
Yes.
उस तरीके से इसको गाना चाहूंगा. ओके सर, आवाज आपको क्लियर आ रही है?
बहुत अच्छे सर.
ओके. खैर मुलाकात पे महसूस ये हुआ एहसास. हर मुलाकात पे अक्सर ये हुआ एहसास. जिंदगी तेज, बहुत तेज चली हो जैसे. जिंदगी तेज, बहुत तेज चली हो जैसे. कोई फरियाद मेरे दिल में दबी हो जैसे. तूने आँखों से कोई बात कही हो जैसे. जागते जागते एक उम्र कटी हो जैसे. जागते जागते एक उम्र कटी हो जैसे. जान बाकी है मगर सांस रुकी हो जैसे. ला 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 ला
ब्यूटीफुल यार, ब्यूटीफुल, एब्सोल्युटली ब्यूटीफुल। आपने जो शुरुआत करी, इट वाज जस्ट एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट यार, बहुत मजा आया, बहुत मजा आया।
Thank you.
गाना तो आपने ऑफ कोर्स ही बहुत अच्छा गाया, बट जो आपने अपनी रेंडिशन दी शुरू में उस अंतरे की, दैट वाज जस्ट एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट। आई लव, बहुत मजा आया, बहुत ही अच्छा।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू। और आपसे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिल गया आज, क्योंकि मैं काफी टाइम से आपको सुन रहा था। And quite nicely, you've been giving the tips and advice to the people. Like one thing I really liked about you when you were telling Goda that even if you're doing the multiple things, I always believe that strive for an excellence. Just do that. Whatever the things that you're doing, and just don't get bored with one thing what you're doing. It try to get some excellence in that, and then try to identify in that mode, because every topic, every subject, every skill is like an ocean. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Wonderful.
so
I love it. I love it. No, it's clearly you are the best example. आप
Yeah.
एक कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर हैं, आप
जी।
एक म्यूजिशियन हैं, आप एक मिमिक्री आर्टिस्ट हैं, पता नहीं और कौन सी चीजें हैं जो हमें पता नहीं है।
नहीं,
that's already 3 lives in one. That's exactly 3 lives in one. And you've clearly done well for yourself. So very cool, man. I love the fact. Please अपनी स्टोरी दूसरे लोगों के साथ शेयर करते रहिएगा, because you will
जी।
act as an inspiration for so many people who are struggling and thinking in their head whether they are on the right track or not.
Right. And I think this is what my goal always been into, because there's one of the small parts which I do it in my training schedules. One of them is actually being a life coach, because I'm a certified life coach and an emotional intelligence trainer, and that is one thing which I always do it, and I understand from the people. जैसे एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है, मैं सबको देता हूँ यहाँ पे, कि जब मुझे कोई देखता है स्पेशली दिल्ली में या किसी और शहर में, उनको सबसे पहले स्ट्राइक होता है, अरे यार नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न होगा। और फिर मेरे गले से अगर कुछ निकलता है तो कहते हैं अरे ये भी है। फिर मैं कुछ बोलता हूँ तो वो कहते हैं अरे ऐसे भी बात करते हो। तो मैं बोलता हूँ स्टीरियोटाइप मत हो जाओ, क्योंकि दैट इज वेयर योर इमोशंस, योर योर माइंड स्टार्ट्स वर्किंग। और वही एक चीज है कि जैसा आप कह रहे थे कि लोग तो बोलेंगे, उनको बोलने दीजिए, आप अपना काम करते जाइए, उनकी फिक्र मत कीजिए। वो जैसे कहते हैं ना कि तूफानों में ताश का घर नहीं बनता, रोने से बिगड़ा मुकद्दर नहीं बनता, दुनिया को जीतने का हौसला रखे दोस्त, क्योंकि एक हार से कोई फकीर और कोई एक जीत से सिकंदर नहीं बनता।
वाह।
So
वाह,
that is one thing.
वाह, I love
Sir,
it.
I should get in
आप तो
touch with
शायर
you
भी हैं।
really. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपसे।
आप तो शायर भी निकले। अब आप थोड़ी देर में आप अपनी टी शर्ट से कबूतर भी निकालेंगे, और फिर अपने कान से खरगोश भी निकालेंगे।
नहीं,
तो पता
ऐसा
आप
कुछ
जादूगर
नहीं है।
भी हैं।
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, क्योंकि गजलों का शौक है तो आपकी शायरी उसमें चलती है, तो आप वो सीख जाते हैं। और गाना गाते हैं तो क्योंकि आपको हर तरह के भाव गाने हैं, एक्सप्रेशंस गाने हैं, तो मिमिक्री भी आ जाती है। So it all work together like that. And yeah, so
Let's
सर मैं आपको
listen to the mimicry. I'm super
तो
keen
क्योंकि
for that.
जैसे आपने मुझे बोला कि आप फरीदाबाद से हो, मेरी एक्साइटमेंट इतनी ज्यादा हो गई, क्योंकि 8 साल मैंने जिंदगी के अपने दिल्ली में बिताए हैं। और एक जो सबसे अच्छी चीज मेरी लाइफ में रही वो थी दिल्ली मेट्रो। और मैं आपको एक पक्का करके दिखाऊंगा, क्योंकि इसमें मुझे शमी नारंग जी की आवाज और मिस मीनू की आवाज बहुत अच्छी लगती है, स्पेशली जब आप कनॉट प्लेस और राजीव चौक जाते हैं, जहाँ पे कई बार हमारे बहुत लोग, इट्स नॉट बीइंग जनरलाइजिंग, बट कुछ लड़कियां निकलती कहती है भैया भाया भाया इनर सर्कल में जाना है भाया, प्लीज मुझे लेके चलोगे। एंड देन दे विल से अरे भैया इनर सर्कल तो यही है मैडम, आप कहाँ जाओगे। तो मैं आपको सिर्फ वो दिल्ली मेट्रो सुनाना चाहूंगा अभी, एंड देन प्रॉब्ली आई विल डू वन शिनचैन बिकॉज़ एवरीबॉडी इज राइटिंग।
Okay.
अगला स्टेशन राजीव चौक है, दरवाजे बाईं तरफ खुलेंगे, कृपया सावधानी बरतें। मेट्रो में यात्रा करते समय जेब कतरों से सावधान रहें। Next station is Rajiv Chowk. Doors will open on the left. Mind the gap. While traveling in metro, be aware of pickpockets.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is so good. That was exactly how it is. Oh my God. People who are not from the Delhi area and have never experienced it, you have no idea how good this was. Like, this was mind-blowing. Unbelievable. पहले सेकंड में जब आपने सबसे पहले बोला ना अगला स्टेशन, तो मुझे genuinely लगा कि आप recorded voice से बोल रहे हैं. It didn't sound
Really?
like yours. That
Oh,
was
wow.
brilliant, man. That was
Thank
really
you.
brilliant. But
Thank you.
there are a lot of people who are saying Shinchan भी करते हैं.
हाँ, क्योंकि आपने शिनचैन कैरेक्टर कभी देखा होगा, तो वो
मैंने
मैं
सुना
हिंदी
उसके
वाला
बारे
डब
में, शायद
करता हूँ
देखा है. हाँ.
जी। तो उनकी जो आवाज है बहुत अलग टेक्सचर है, तो मैं उसको करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, और उसके लिए मैंने एक इफेक्ट भी एक्चुअल में डाउनलोड कर लिया था कुछ दिन पहले, और मैं उसके साथ आपको करके बताऊंगा।
अच्छा.
किक्कू आंटी जरा ताली तो बजाना, मुझे नहीं पता था अंकुर जी के साथ इतना मजा आने वाला है। वो तो सारी की सारी आवाजें सुनने वाले हैं और अपने माथे पे अपना सर रख के अपनी उंगलियों को रख के भी हंस रहे हैं। तुम्हारे
Oh
दांत
my
कहीं
God.
झड़ ना जाए दोस्त, क्या पता तुम दाबरलाल दंत मंजन नहीं करते हो। पतंजलि मत करना, मुझे भी नहीं पता मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ। ये तो बहुत मजा आने वाला है।
He's very
That
naughty.
is
Sorry.
insane, man. That is insane. That is so good. That is exactly how it sounds. That is
Yeah.
exactly how it sounds. Oh my God. You are so talented, man. You are
Thank you,
so
sir.
talented, Yugal.
Thank you.
I genuinely enjoyed my time with you. So did everyone else. Look at the hearts and the ha-has and everything going on. That is the crowd
Yeah.
going wild at you at your live performance. But I'm so glad that we got connected.
And
Goda,
I'm
thank
really
you for the
happy that
recommendation.
and I really thank you to Goda, and I have just few recommendation. अगर कोशिश करो तो एक हमारी बहुत अच्छी सिंगर है यहाँ पे, ए देवगन, जिसको हम बोलते हैं अजय तू अजय देवगन की रिश्तेदार लगती है, बट हर नेम इज एक्चुअली आकांक्षा, एंड शुभम एंड अरहम, ये तीन बहुत अच्छे काफी अच्छे कलाकार हैं। इवन गौरी भट्ट, देखिए एज आई टोल्ड यू, नाम की लिस्ट मेरी बढ़ती जाएगी। देन देयर इज अ गाय कॉल्ड दैट फिंगर गिटारिस्ट, बहुत अच्छे हैं ये सब के सब। शुभम काबरा, ये अपने आप लिखते हैं। इनको भी कुछ दिन पहले विवेक अग्निहोत्री साहब ने भी सुना और कहने लगे कि मैं डीएम करूंगा। तो ये सारे बहुत टैलेंटेड हैं मेरे।
Here's what we will do. You guys, जिसका भी नाम युगल ने अभी शेयर किया है, and I got a few of them, please मुझे डीएम करिए। हमारे पास अभी वक्त तो नहीं बचा है, but we will definitely get you next Friday at 10 p.m. and we will have an only music special. So let's do that. 100%.
थैंक यू। सो अगले मैं हफ्ते आऊंगा, फिर मैं आपको फिर से वहां पे डीएम करता जाऊंगा कि सर इसको ले लो, उसको ले लो। क्योंकि एक मेरे बहुत अच्छे फ्रेंड आए, लेजेंड प्रियांकित जायसवाल, यू हैव टू लिसन टू दिस गाय, दे ऑल आर अमेजिंग, सारे अमेजिंग है, मैं किसका नाम नहीं छोड़ू। सॉरी गाइस, कृतार्थ, एवरीबॉडी।
Yugal is our curator and I am the operator and the host, and we will just have a बहुत मजेदार महफिल। Unfortunately, it's capped at 1 hour, लेकिन अगली बार Friday 10 p.m.
पक्के से।
ठीक है?
Thank you so much, Ankur ji. Thank you so much for checking me live, and stay in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay in touch. God bless.
You too. Bye.
That was so much talent in just one individual. Like, I almost am envious. But yeah, that's how awesome people are. That's how awesome people are. All right. We're at 10:50. Well, it's 11 in my watch. 10:58 here. Yes, 2 minutes remaining. So my screen's telling me 2 minutes remaining. So we will not be able to take anyone any further. But next Friday, 10 p.m., we have locked in at least 4 or 5 names that I heard Yugal say out. So we're definitely going to have another round of a musical evening. That's how it's turning out to be, and I don't mind that one single bit. We have fun. It's the best way to wind up a Friday evening, and there is literally love in the air, lovely music, lovely people, so much talent to go through, and I think we're all having a good time. All right, wonderful. There is yeah, please write me an email to whatever it is, but okay, so I'm ending a minute earlier. You have a lovely weekend, all of you. God bless. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll see you all Friday, 10 p.m. next week. Bye.